They are ridiculously frightened by your presence. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, they are ridiculously frightened by your presence. For sure. I need somebody to drop in the comments and say, I am who I am. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I am who I am. Listen, y'all, you're not a bully. You're not somebody who's trying to play big and bad. You're not the tough guy. You're not someone who's trying to humiliate people, ridicule people. Listen, y'all, you literally come for what's yours, nothing more, nothing less, all right? You come for what's yours, nothing more, nothing less, okay? And you carry a spirit that is fearless, all right? And comes with that spirit is a mind of your own. That alone gives you a powerful presence that jobs are going to be afraid of, family members are going to be afraid of, even sometimes, especially if y'all are not equally yoked, your partner going to be afraid of. You follow what I'm saying? See, you say what's on your mind. The first thing we think about when a person say what's on their mind is some ignorant stuff. Okay, no, family, saying what's on your mind is not about being ignorant. Okay, it's about standing up to the bully. It's about calling out what's wrong. It's about shining light on the darkness. It's about standing up for yourself and even others around you. Okay, it is about not holding your tongue, especially when it is needed. Y'all get what I'm saying? And family, a lot of people are frightened by that. Okay, a lot of people can't stand that. And a lot of people will despise you for that. See, family, when you walk a walk that you was called to walk, people won't understand that. They know what it is, but they don't understand it because they haven't answered to their call. What's the famous saying, y'all? Many were called, but few were chosen. Yeah, you're the few who were chosen. You get what I'm saying? And so, y'all, we're going to speak about why they are ridiculously frightened by your presence, all right? But it's going to be disclosed within the 5 reasons I'm going to give you. With that being said, y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. How y'all doing, family? What's going on? A little bit later post, than usual. However, y'all, we still getting to it. I was on my Reno Speaks Riches channel earlier. I took me a little break. Watched a little content, ate me some food, and now we're getting right back to it. I said this earlier on my other channel. For those, who already watched that video, maybe y'all know, but I'm a little under the weather, y'all, so excuse me if I sound a little nasally. I'm getting better, actually, from earlier. I had some Theraflu and more lemon, more honey. Somebody told me to do some ginger, so I'm gonna try that too. I may purchase some ginger after I get through with this video. But yeah, family, that's what I got going on. I'm a little under the weather, y'all, but we're gonna still get through it. Drop in the comments, let me know how y'all feeling, how y'all doing. But that's what's going on in these negative woods, y'all. Once again, leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Let's get right into this, y'all. Number 1. First reason is you're no longer overly humble, all right? You're no longer overly humble. I'm sure y'all heard me say I'm humble a million times. I know somebody gonna say, well, Reno, a humble person don't gotta say that they humble. Yeah, I understand that, but also, if I leave the story for somebody else to narrate it, if I leave the story for somebody else to tell it, they probably ain't gonna tell it right. So yeah, you're gonna hear me pop my ish from time to time. But I'm a humble person, right? But I have this, I'm not even gonna say new philosophy. I'm gonna just add to the philosophy. I believe that you should be humble, but not overly humble. All right. How many people have you met in your lifetime where they were talented and you knew and they knew that they were talented? Okay. And they were very modest about it, very quiet. They are afraid to promote their business. They are afraid to tell people that they can sing. Y'all, I come from an era where it says closed mouths don't get fed. I'm just going to be honest, y'all. And so if you have that type of talent, if you got that gift, if you have the product or service, you can't be a closed mouth or you won't get fed. Okay. And so what I want you to realize is, y'all, is that you're the individuals or individual who is ridiculously, afraid of, right? Like people are afraid of you. They're frightened by your presence because you open your mouth. Yeah, you don't mind speaking and you're no longer overly humble. All right, bowing before every person, making sure you don't step on nobody's toes. You're not trying to offend somebody with your personality. You're not trying to make people feel, less than. You're not trying to do anything, okay, that's going to cross somebody or make somebody feel like they're not who they don't even know they are. Okay, family, that's not your issue. You're supposed to open your mouth up. You're supposed to speak highly of yourself. You're supposed to put your product out there, advertise your website, speak about the things that you do well. You're supposed to. This is called marketing and advertisement. All right, let's talk about this, y'all. McDonald's. Do y'all think McDonald's is overly humble? In fact, McDonald's are not humble. They are on the commercials, marketing their campaigns, all right, letting you know about the same burger we've known about for what, y'all, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, all right? McDonald's been out for a minute, but they keep talking about this Big Mac. They keep talking about this double cheeseburger, how many patties it have on there, how many cheese it got on there, how much cheese it have on there, the dehydrated onions, the pickle, the ketchup, the Big Mac sauce. They just keep talking about the lettuce. They telling you, hey, come shop with us, all right? Does that sound overly humble to you? No. We have a business. We got products. We have services. We going to sell it. We going to sell it. Rena, what are you saying right now? You are no longer overly humble. You're selling yourself, not in a derogative way or form. But what I'm saying is that you understand that closed mouths don't get fed. You're putting it out on the table. You're taking your opportunities. You're allowing yourself to shine. You're not diminishing yourself for people who don't know who they are. People who are scared to walk and step into their calling. You're no longer overly humble. Does that make sense? Now they're frightened by your presence. Now they're scared of your presence. You get what I'm saying? You're no longer overly humble. All right, it's okay to be humble, but don't be overly humble. Number 2, you have an unapologetic stance. All right, you have an unapologetic stance. Okay, listen, if you big, claim your bigness. All right, claim your bigness. If you're black, claim your blackness. If you white, claim your whiteness. All right, if you have a skin disease, claim it. Whatever it is, y'all. Claim it. Claim your insecurities. Claim your misfortunes. Claim it. Now, this is what I do want to say. I'm not saying to speak negatively over your life. All right. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to claim spells over your life. I'm saying claim the things that you cannot change. All right. Claim, embrace the things and embody the things that you cannot change. Because the moment you allow someone else to speak negatively about your insecurities and flaws and the list goes on, that's when it tears you down. But like I said, y'all, I always say this, the 8 Mile style. Yes, I am white trailer trash. Yes, he slept with my girl. Yes, I got beat up. Yes, my mom on the drugs. Yes, I got all these different things going on. What's up now? I already put it out there. What can you say about me? Make sense what I'm saying? So this goes right back to being unapologetic. I am unapologetically me. I am unapologetically a positive person. I am unapologetically talented. Okay, the list goes on. A person who displayed this unapologetic stance, y'all, once again, it's Black History Month, so we got to talk about it. Muhammad Ali. All right, shout out to the great Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers who ever lived. And honestly, that's my favorite boxer. I'm just, popping my ears right now. That's my favorite boxer, right? But anyway, Muhammad Ali, y'all, he was Islam, okay? He stood up for black rights, and just stood up for his rights as a man, All right, let's talk about it. So, Islam is Muslim, okay? Y'all know that I'm not really big on religion. I'm more so of a spiritual person. But I don't look down on the Islam people. I don't look down on the, Christian people, the Mormons, people who ride the bikes. I don't look down on Jehovah's Witness. I don't look down on nobody, okay? However, y'all, if you believe in something, believe in it and be strong in it and be unapologetic, all right? Be unapologetic. For Pete's sake, y'all, we're not living in the times, when it's off with your head because you want to be a Christian. Okay? Or it's off with your head because you don't want to be a Muslim. I mean, the list goes on, but what I'm saying is Muhammad Ali was unapologetic, all right, about being Islam. Okay? They was mad at that because he came from a Christian home. His black rights, all right, the black rights perspective. He was big on the same things that Martin Luther King stood for, before him and Malcolm X I ain't gonna say turned against one another, but before they fell out, right? He stood tall with Malcolm X, with the black rights. What I'm saying is, y'all, he was that unapologetically. And in the ring, knocking dudes out. And even as a man, when they tried to get him to go over to Vietnam, what he said, y'all, I ain't going to Viet Cong. Viet Cong ain't did nothing to me. All right? That's just how he felt as a man. Like, man, look, I get y'all trying to send me over there, but I'm not going. Do what you got to do. Here go my hands right here. Lock me up, take me to jail, throw away the key. That is when you are unapologetic about your stance. All right? Number 3, your thought process and decision making is unorthodox. All right? Your thought process and decision making is unorthodox. Family, you don't think like the regular person, all right? You don't make decisions like the regular person. The regular person think like a sheep, all right? The regular person make decisions like a sheep. In other words, what social media got going on, what my mama said, traditionalism, what the world is talking about, those are the footsteps that I am going to follow. With yourself, that's just not you, all right? I'm going to kind of go sideways on this one, y'all, but it's going to be a great analogy, I promise y'all. For those who are in hip-hop, y'all going to get what I'm saying. But if you take a Eminem, all right, from 8 Mile, Eminem, Slim Shady, okay, versus Quavo from the Migos, who is the most unorthodox, all right? It's probably going to be Eminem. Quavo, he got some great songs. He got some great hits. Man, that boy bad on the hook. Don't get me wrong. But when you're talking about hip-hop lyricism, being a real rapper, we got to get that thing to Eminem. Because why? His rhyme scheme, his rhythmic flow, his word choice, subject matter, the things that he's going to say, it's going to be a little bit more unorthodox, right? A little bit more untraditionalized. Rena, what are you saying right now? We can tell and we know exactly what Quavo gonna say before he said it. It's more so of an A, B, C, D rhyme scheme. We all get it. So guess what? If anybody go on the BT cipher between them two, we probably are gonna be more thrilled to know what Slim Shady gonna say versus Quavo. We already know what he's talking about. We know the rhyme scheme. We know everything. Eminem, no, we got to sit back and listen to it. Why? Because he's unorthodox. Reno, what are you saying right now? That's the same thing with yourself. You have a thought process that's not regular. It's irregular. You have a decision-making process that is unorthodox. It's not regular, all right? Number 4, y'all, you don't have a smell of fear, all right? You do not have a smell of fear. Some people, a lot of people, y'all, especially those who are not chosen, they have a fear because they don't know who they are. They don't, embrace the hardships. They don't embrace and embody the misfortunes. They don't, okay? So they have a smell of fear to them. They are fearful of what somebody gonna say, fearful of what somebody gonna do, fearful of what somebody gonna take from them, fearful, all right? You gotta have a fearless mentality on that job. You got to have a fearless mentality when it comes to losing a friend. You got to have a fearless mentality when it comes to losing anything, all right? Here's the thing, y'all. When I was a kid, I would see different types of dogs, right? And even as an adult, but I really haven't had these type of issues. I guess when you are an adult, you're just not in certain areas. But as a kid, when you see stray dogs, most times, y'all, them like them tough dogs. They out there in the streets. Yeah, them dogs be in the streets. And then you got the little Taco Bell dogs. All right. Well, the stray dog, guess what? You may try to scare it off. Get away. Go on somewhere, you little mutt. You may try to kick at it or something. Man, that dog gonna sit there and look at you like you crazy. You gonna keep it pushing. Why? Because you don't smell no fear. All right. The little taco dogs, the Taco Bell dogs, Chihuahuas and stuff like that, man, they be barking and you stump one time, they done ran back on to the front porch. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Same thing with yourself, y'all. You don't have no smell of fear. People be talking that talk. They be acting how they be acting. They be trying what they try. They don't smell no fear. They turn around and go right back to the porch. Number 5, y'all, the last thing is going to be this right here, y'all. I belong here. That's your mentality. Okay, number 5 is you have the I belong here mentality. When you believe that you belong somewhere, you have a different appreciation for it. More importantly, though, you have a different energy when you walk in the room because you have that I belong here mentality. Like, you can't tell me to get up out of here. You can't make me uncomfortable because you may have more than me. You don't scare me because you know this person and know that person. None of that bothers me. Why? Because I belong here. Yeah, I was on the VIP list too. Yeah, I'm sure every celebrity don't have the same amount of money, but all of them feel like they belong in certain rooms, right? For the most part. Y'all get my point, but for the most part, all right? So, you know, when the industry recognize when a person is confident, they can see that this person just may be a problem, all right? A great person to speak on, it would be Kendrick Lamar. When Kendrick Lamar came in the game, he dissed everybody. For my real hip-hop heads, y'all know, but he dissed everybody on the Control record. He did Control, he dissed everybody. Big Sean, Drake, J. Cole, he already had dissed people. That's what people don't even know. He already had dissed everybody, right? But anyway, when he dissed people, that was him letting him know that, hey, I belong here. And not only do I belong here, but y'all better make sure that y'all still belong here. You follow what I'm saying? Now, I don't want to make this too much about the hip-hop beef. My point is that when the industry recognize, or wherever environment, when they recognize that you have that confidence and you have that I belong here mentality, people are going to be ridiculously frightened by your presence because they don't know what comes next after that. They are afraid that you may even try to take their spot or their position. They're going to be very threatened because you have a certain energy behind you. I belong here. Yeah, it comes also with a level of entitlement. Not bad entitlement, but entitlement as in, what took me so long to get here? What took y'all so long to recognize me? You know, you gonna come in with more of broad shoulders. Yeah, make room. Scooch on over for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's you. But family, you got that I belong here mentality, and that's why they are frightened by your presence, all right? But with that being said, y'all, we're going to do a recap and then we'll conclude this video. Number 1, you're no longer overly humble, all right? Number 2, unapologetic stance. Number 3, your thought process and decision making is unorthodox. Number 4, you don't have a smell of fear. And number 5, y'all, I belong here mentality, all right? With that being said, family, y'all get you a Yes Sir t-shirt, Yes Sir hoodie, book a one-on-one session with your boy, and you can check out any one of my books. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.